What's up, guys? This is Heather and Doug, your local Charlotte real estate agents with eXp Realty. Today we're talking about the top 10 things that you need to know before moving to the Charlotte area. But as much as we love doing these videos, what we love even more is helping you with your real estate needs. So if you're thinking about moving to the Charlotte metro area, please feel free to reach out, call, text, email, however you want to get a hold of us. We're happy to help you with any of your real estate needs. So in no particular order, the first thing we're going to talk about today is growth. Charlotte has been rated one of the top 5 fastest growing cities in the Southeast. We have over 100 people every day moving to the Charlotte area. So what that means for you coming to the Charlotte area is that you're going to experience a lot of traffic. We have a ton of construction here. Charlotte is trying really hard to keep up with all of this growth. So everywhere you go, you're going to be sitting in some type of construction traffic. They're expanding the highways, they're building new housing, they're building new shopping centers, they're revamping different areas. So wherever you go in town, you're definitely going to run into traffic. Another negative thing to mention about the growth is just wanting to go shopping or going out to dinner. You need to set your reservations at least a week in advance. But all of that growth, there are some positive things as well. So some of the things that you're gonna see is a lot of new restaurants, a lot of new entertainment. We have some major sporting leagues here. We have soccer, we have baseball, we have the Panthers. So you have a lot of different events going on in the Charlotte area. And with all the different people moving to Charlotte, you have a ton of culture and diversity. Charlotte is a melting pot of different cultures. It's rare to be able to find somebody that is actually from the Charlotte area. So there are pros and cons to the growth, but it's something we definitely wanted to mention to you guys before moving to the Charlotte area.
Okay, so number 2 on our list is we have 4 seasons here. We've got beautiful fall weather, beautiful spring weather. Temperatures are typically in the 50s to the 70s in the spring and 40s to 60s in the fall. And we've got very mild winters. I mean, you can golf year round here. So definitely something that you want to think about in the wintertime is if we get any kind of threat of snow or winter weather, this place goes banana. The grocery stores sell out of everything. Everybody runs out and buys out all the sleds all around town. Another thing to think about is it gets brutally hot. From July and August, I don't really even like to go outside very often. The humidity and almost unbearable. But we usually only have about 40 or so days over 90 degrees. The most beautiful time of year I feel around here is the fall. We've got beautiful foliage, beautiful colors, reds, oranges, purples, yellows, just some amazing rich colors that you see. Pretty popular for people to go up to the Blue Ridge Parkway and drive around.
So if you're still watching, you've probably decided you're gonna go ahead and move to Charlotte. So we wanted to give you a couple insider tips about moving to Charlotte. Charlotteans don't call downtown, downtown. Charlotteans call downtown, uptown. So if you move to Charlotte and you don't want to sound like a tourist, make sure you say uptown instead of downtown. So a little history behind that saying is that the 2 major streets that run through the uptown area are Trade and Tryon. So in the 1700s, Trade and Tryon was a trading post for Native Americans. So people would travel from all over to come and trade their goods. So Trade and Tryon are actually located at the highest point in the city. So Charlotte has just adopted the saying uptown.
So number 4 on our list is Charlotte is a foodie town. And when I say that, I mean we can compete with just about any town in the country in terms of great restaurants. Because Charlotte is such a fast-growing city, we have a lot of really nice restaurants all over the Charlotte metro area. In fact, Food and Wine magazine actually named us in the top 10 list of great food cities. So I definitely would agree with them. We're constantly going out trying new restaurants all over Charlotte. We have Food Truck Fridays. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of great food festivals, including barbecue festivals. We do have some really great barbecue. The other thing that we have here that you may not even have ever heard of is pimento cheese. People put pimento cheese on everything. Taste of Charlotte, which is usually a week or a weekend where a lot of the top restaurants will have specials, 3-course meals, where you can get out and get to experience some of the finer dining restaurants at a reasonable price. They'll have a menu that they create specific for Taste of Charlotte, so that's a great time. Highly recommend getting reservations in advance on that as well. If you're a foodie, then you're gonna love this town.
So our number 5 thing that you need to know before moving to Charlotte is the close proximity to the beach or the mountains. So we call it ski or surf. So Charlotte is centrally located in about 2.5 to 3 hours in either direction. You can be at the beach or you can be at the mountains. So for those of you that like to ski, we have a couple small ski resorts that are about 2.5 hours away. It's nothing like skiing out west, but it does give you snow and the opportunity to get on your skis or your snowboard. It's also located in a cute little mountain town where you have great restaurants, beautiful views. Some of the restaurants are located on the sides of the mountain. You can sit outside and you can watch the sunset over the top of the mountains. So really beautiful places to go visit. That's something within close driving distance for those of you that love to ski or snowboard. Another thing to mention is we are in close proximity to Asheville. Asheville is another cute little town out in the mountains. We call it the granola town. So you'll find a lot of hippies. Actually, some of the best hummus around is made there in Asheville. You have a lot of farm to table restaurants. It's actually one of our favorite places to go. And as a matter of fact, we're headed there this weekend. So whether it's cold or hot, you'll find plenty of things to do in Asheville. Great hiking spots. When it's warm, you can raft or tube down the river during the day, and then at night there's great nightlife. You have a lot of breweries there. Just a really great place to go check out. One of our favorites within driving distance of Charlotte. As far as surf goes, we have a ton of different beaches within about 3 hours of Charlotte. So Charleston is home to Isle of Palm and a couple other cute little islands. So you can stay at the beach, and then at night you can go into Charleston for the food and the entertainment. So that's a really great place to go visit. You also have Myrtle Beach, about 3.5 hours. So we call this the Disneyland of the beach. Probably not your nicest beach, but there are a lot of great things to do there for the kids. So plenty of activities. Most of your hotels are older, but they all have lazy rivers, water slides, indoor water parks, outdoor water parks. You've got all kinds of different dining options for the family. You've got like the pirate adventure where you can go and eat dinner and watch the pirates fight. You've got some great shopping and entertainment for the children. I think you have a couple little amusement parks there as well. So Myrtle Beach is a great place to bring the family. If you want a little quieter, nicer beach, which is also very family oriented, Hilton Head is about a 4-hour drive from Charlotte. This is one of my favorite beaches. It's beautiful, it's quiet. You don't have any of those high-rise hotels like you do in Myrtle Beach. Everything is maybe just a couple stories tall, so nothing's really blocking the view of the gorgeous ocean. The waves are very small, so it's great for the kids to sit and play. You can bike anywhere on the island. There's bike paths throughout the whole island, so that's definitely one of my favorites. Great place to go check out with the family. So overall, your location of Charlotte gives you access to a lot of different places. So that's probably one of my favorite things about the Charlotte area. So definitely something you needed to know before moving here.
So the next one on our list is that Charlotte is kind of the birthplace of where NASCAR started. We actually hosted the first professional stock car race in 1949. And since then, we've gone to build the Speedway up in Concord, which actually holds close to 170,000 people, which is incredible. We're not huge NASCAR fans, but it's definitely something that you need to check out at least once while you live here. But it has a die-hard following. But I definitely need to point out, because like I mentioned, it's almost like religion here. It's a way of life. So we have two huge races here that are hosted in Charlotte. The first one is the Coca-Cola 600, which is always held on Memorial Day weekend. And then we also host the All-Star race. So great culture, a really neat experience. A lot of people, will drive RVs all over the country, and they'll stop in Charlotte and spend the weekend watching NASCAR. But it's during the Coca-Cola 600, which is this weekend, Charlotte holds Speed Street, which is, they basically close down a lot of the streets uptown in Charlotte, and they have tons of music and vendors and food and entertainment. So it's a pretty big party, and they do that all through Memorial Day weekend.
So the next one up on our list is Charlotte's music scene. So for those of you that are into live music, Charlotte has many different options. Charlotte, being located in the South, we have a lot of country music fans here. So when I initially moved to Charlotte, I came from the West Coast. So I didn't know anything about the country music scene, had never listened to country music in my life, and to be honest, I hated it. But it's really grown on me, and it's actually one of my favorite types of concerts to go to now. So definitely have a lot of country music options. We have a country music nightclub located out on the west side of Charlotte. Huge facility, hosts a ton of different up-and-coming bands. Occasionally does host some big artists there. So that's a really cool place to go check out. Charlotte also has two outdoor music arenas that are open. I think they start having concerts maybe in May, and they go all the way through usually October. So you're gonna have a lot of country artists that come out there, but you'll have anything from Red Hot Chili Peppers to, I think Snoop Dogg has been there before. So you have a wide variety of music that plays out there, but that place is great. You have really affordable lawn seats. Depending on the type of concert, it's sometimes fun to bring the kids out there, sit in the grass and listen to the music. So that's a really popular music scene there. The other outdoor music arena that we have is called the Charlotte Metro Credit Union, and it's located in an area of Charlotte called the NC Music Factory. So this little area has a ton of bars and restaurants, and then in the center you have the Charlotte Metro Credit Union, which is a more intimate setting, but again outdoor, where you can sit on the lawn and listen to some big bands that come play there as well. You also have the Spectrum Center, so a lot of times in the winter time, that's going to be your indoor arena, so you'll get a lot of bands that come and play there in the winter time when it's cold. You also have, located throughout Charlotte, a ton of different places that do outdoor music in the summer. So most of your big shopping centers have a grass area somewhere there where they have live music Fridays and Saturday nights. So that's a really nice place to, grab dinner, bring it out there, bring a blanket, the kids, the dogs, and hang out and listen to some live music. So for all of you that are big music fans, Charlotte is a great place for that.
All right, so the next one, guys, is Southern Hospitality. Southern Hospitality is real here in Charlotte. It is not uncommon for you to be walking, in the grocery store or down the street, and people ask you, how are you doing? They genuinely care how you're doing. People have really great manners down here. You sit at a stop sign and somebody will say, hey, no, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. The other thing is people say y'all. Y'all is a word here. So yeah, Southern Hospitality, something we wanted to mention. So another saying that is very, very common down here is bless your heart. Now, bless your heart is one of those things that sounds really sweet, but if somebody says bless your heart to you here in Charlotte, they basically mean you are an idiot.
So another thing we wanted to mention and add to our list of top 10 things to know about Charlotte is that it's a super dog-friendly place. So those of you moving to Charlotte with your furry friends, there's gonna be a lot of different events, activities, and parks that you can experience with your dogs. Charlotte has 3 breweries where you can let your dog roam off leash while you sit and sip beer. So they have indoor and outdoor facilities. So on a hot day, you can let the dogs run around, you can sit and have a cold beer, or if the weather's bad, you can sit inside and they have all kinds of different things for your dogs to run around and climb and tunnels for them to go through. So that's a really cool aspect of Charlotte. The other thing to mention is Charlotte has 19 different dog parks scattered throughout the metro area. So no matter what area you live in, you're sure to find a dog park there where you can take your dog on a nice day. Another thing to mention, especially for those of you who don't know anyone here in Charlotte, or you're single when you move here, but you have a dog, there are all kinds of different meetups and groups throughout Charlotte that meet maybe once or twice a month. One to mention is Tails and Trails. So it's a group of dog lovers that meet up once a month and go hiking with their dogs. So great way to meet people here in the Charlotte area. Another thing to mention is even the nicer restaurants here in Charlotte will let you bring your dog out on the patio. So we were just sitting at a really nice restaurant the other night and we looked over and there was a dog sitting right under the table. And not only are the dogs allowed, but as the wait staff is serving drinks, they're bringing water out for your dogs as well. So that's another really great aspect of Charlotte. The major sporting places here in Charlotte, so like the Charlotte Knights, our minor league baseball team, they have special nights dedicated to dogs. So they call it Bark in the Park, and you can bring your dog out there while you watch the game. So that's a really cool thing to do. So if you're moving to Charlotte with your furry friend, there is definitely a lot of things to experience here and a great way to meet new people.
So that brings us to our number 10 on the list, which is breweries. Charlotte, we love our brewskis here. So North Carolina is ranked number 7 in all the United States for production of craft beers. So breweries support over 12,000 jobs here in the state of North Carolina, over $2 billion. So North Carolina is a huge beer drinking state. We have 47 craft breweries here in the Charlotte metro area. Lots of different options as far as breweries go. There's some of the larger, so breweries are actually bringing jobs to the Charlotte area, and it is a way for them to connect with the community. A lot of these breweries will host run clubs. They'll donate water during hurricane. They support a lot of nonprofits, and they even actually manufactured bottles of hand sanitizer during the COVID outbreak.
There were a lot of first responders that had no access to hand sanitizer. So a lot of these breweries switched over and donated to all the first responders here in Charlotte to help out with that situation. A lot of the local breweries have fitness classes. So there are a lot of beer tasting and yoga courses. Definitely a unique spin on yoga, but sounds like a lot of fun. They also have family-friendly events. So some of the breweries have food truck days where you can bring the kids out there, and they have tons of games, lots of big outdoor games, Jenga, Connect Four, things like that, where you can, on a nice afternoon, just sit out there all evening with the kids, with the dog, play games, have some good food, and enjoy a couple craft beers. So if you're a beer connoisseur, Charlotte is definitely the place for you.
So we hope that you found this video and this content useful. If you are enjoying our videos, go ahead and click the subscribe button and tap that bell so you're notified each and every time we put out a new video. We are going to be dropping new videos each and every week on what it's like to eat, sleep, live, work, and play in the Charlotte area. And so until next time, we'll catch you later.